Hello. Time for the second part of the adventure, in which I will talk about how I ended up here and what made my heart messed up. I will tell you what were the reasons why my condition, from being pretty stable, from being able to train nicely, doing quite a lot, to what basically led me here, to the situation where in 4 or 5 days I have the open heart surgery. I don't think this story have really sense if I will not start talking about my attitude, my relation with my heart issue, because without telling you a little bit of my personal background, of my view on that, you will not understand why I was making the decisions I was making, and you will just think that I'm super stupid. But everything have had certain reason, in my opinion. I was not treating that issue seriously. I was not treating HOCM seriously throughout most of my life. And I didn't do it because I didn't understand the severity of that, because I felt good. And I was a little, not even a little, quite a lot angry and resistant toward that, because as a young boy, there is not many things that can be hard to go through other than being excluded from something, so not being a part of. And the problem that I have caused me to be excluded from physical education classes, which on the first glimpse, it doesn't, it's not much. A lot of people do quite a lot. A lot of people pay money, you know, some parents pay money to have their kid being excluded from physical education classes, because this is just bullshit sometimes. But in my case, it was important. I was taking part in those classes when I was 5, 6, something like this, but then I was excluded, and kid doesn't understand. Kid doesn't understand those things. Basically, at some point, they just, no one explained it properly for me. It's a mixture of sadness of being rejected and excluded, and not taking part in something that seems fun. And I felt worse overall than others. Maybe even a bit not feeling worthy, kind of. So then at some point I got pissed off. At some point I was done feeling like a bitch. I swung all the way to the opposite side. When I was 15, against my parents' knowledge, I started to go to the gym. And it turned out amazing for me. I fell in love with that, and I fell in love to the point that I decided to become a physiotherapist, to change my whole idea about career, of what I wanted to do. That was awesome, and it shaped me to the person I am right now. But just the pendulum, right? When I was too long on one side. So when I got to the other, I was living pretty intense life. And what can I say, right? You know, there will be kids watching that. So, well, let's just say that I had a pretty intense life. And honestly, this intense part of my life, which started around high school and went through the first part of the university, was not even a big issue. Like I went through that. I let go of some steam. It was not even that hardcore, you know. Honestly, there were people destroying their lives with so many things, and I was just having fun. Like, honestly, I was going to the parties, I was going to the gym, I was not sleeping as I supposed to. I was not taking care of my health that much, like in a proper way. But I think that was also just a normal part of growing up. You leave your parents' house, you're not supervised as much, so you want to have a bit more fun. So I went through that period. One of the, I think, 4 main stressors that I felt worsened my heart health was me deciding to hop on testosterone. And that was stupid, and that was pointless, and that was... I was probably 23 when I made that decision, and I made that decision because as a young man, it seems like the bigger you are, the stronger you are, the better life you have. And it kind of solves a lot of the problems, right? You get the attention, you get the validation. A good looking person is associated with success. So I was like, okay, I reached a certain limit. Like, I couldn't push more through a certain point in the gym, and it was simply because if I was training harder, I was not able to regenerate anymore towards the next session, and I needed to train harder or more often to get more. So I just couldn't. When I was training more, I was losing weight at some point, so I had to eat more, but eating more was kind of almost impossible. My mom was sick. Is sick. Probably you'll hear that. She's fine. So the testosterone journey. So I was not able to eat enough to grow more. I was not able to train more to grow more. So I was like, okay, that's my limit. Let's hop on the gear. It was not much. It was prop 3 times per week. I don't remember the exact dose. I did that for 3 months. Why it was bad for me? First of all, I lost everything the moment I stopped taking the test. Like basically, I was training for 3 months. I gained quite a lot, and then the moment I stopped, I got sick quite badly for a week, and after coming back to the gym, I was in the point where I was from before even starting. So that was kind of pointless. If someone wants to hop on the gear, they should consider that they will have to do it for 10, 15 years, or at least until they will reach their goals. I didn't have any goal. Like I didn't have any fitness goal. I was just doing that for myself, which is stupid. It's like the only reason someone should do it is because they want to achieve something or they earn from that. And 3 months is not enough to achieve anything. So if you would consider that, stop, like basically. Why I feel it messed up my health, my heart health, is that afterwards, after being sick for this week, I noticed that I don't have the energy levels that I had before. This was the first significant moment in my life where I noticed that the energy is not there, the same one. And it could be because of the hormonal reasons. I was using help of a clinician that is specialized in that later, and we regulated my hormones very nicely. From a certain point of view, you take testosterone, the muscles grow. Heart is the muscle. So yeah, it was not strategic. That was entirely my fault, that I take responsibility for. If I wouldn't take it, I would probably be in a much better position in my life right now. But what to do, that's past. Learn from that. Another thing that was that attacked my heart for sure, that is partially my error, only partially, is the dental adventures. I moved to a bigger city at some point in my life when I was 22, and after moving, I kind of got busy with life there, which means that I didn't really go for dental checkups, perhaps even for 2 years. I'm not sure, it was a long time ago, but I didn't go for a pretty long time. When I went there, it turned out that I need 2 canal treatments, root canal treatments. I was like, okay, that's the budget thing. It will cost a few K, but okay, it's never mind. I didn't really think that much about that. I thought that I have a good dentist. I did that. Plenty of people have root canal treatments. I already had one, so I was like, what to do? Now, the issue is that a few months after I started, like my health was like, I don't know what's going on. It all started with pretty big exhaustion. Like it was not fatigue, it was exhaustion, panic attacks. I was not able to focus on anything. I think I need to go to make a tea for my mom. Okay, let me finish. I felt like I'm going to die any second, and I had no idea why. And blood work was fine, except my lymphocytes were higher. So I had kind of an infection, but I didn't know where. And I was trying to figure that out by myself, like the doctors, like the first contact doctor, she was like, she couldn't help me. So at some point, I remember I went to the church and I was praying, and I was like, okay, like I'm going to die any moment. I need some inspiration, some thought, because it's like really bad. I was praying there, and then there was this idea. The only thing that you did just before was the root canal treatment. This was the only thing that had some effect on you. Something must have gone wrong there. So I did a scan of all of my teeth. I went to the same dentist. I showed her this photo, and I asked, is everything okay? Is everything all right over there? Because something feels off. And she said, everything is okay. That everything is all right, that there is no problem. I believed her. She was a dentist from recommendation from a very good friend of mine. And I thought she's good. She had a very nice clinic. And this kind of works as a leverage. You don't really doubt these people. And she was very friendly, huh? But then I spent around 6 months with the help of a natural therapist. That was expensive, helpful to some extent, but I was feeling better only when I was taking those supplements. The moment I was not taking them anymore, I felt bad. I have nothing against this natural therapist guy. He did his best. After 6 months, I was again enough. And I remember just scrolling through Instagram, and I found a dentist, biological dentist, Blodgett something. And he was sharing quite a lot of knowledge about how the root canals, even if they seem normal on the scans, that they can mess up the health. So I was like, awesome. There is someone who understands the issue. And what he was saying was basically everything what I have. So no pain, nothing here, no swelling, just overall exhaustion. There was no biological dentist in Poland at the time, so I thought that I would just go to the best one that I am able to find. I was sure that he would tell everything is fine based on scan, and then I would just ask to remove those teeth, and we would just do implants, stuff like that. I was not sure what to do, but I went there and I showed him the scan from 6 months before, and he was like, "Oh, it's very bad. Like, we need to open the tooth right now and see what's going on there." And I was like, "Okay." So there was one that he opened, and basically when he took off the cap, just blood started to squirt there, and the inflammation was so bad that it started to eat my gums from inside. So this tooth was removed. The second tooth, on top of that tooth, I had a pretty big cyst in my sinus, so the inflammation was causing the sinus to just enlarge. So I had to undergo the surgery to get rid of the tooth and to clean the sinus. So 5 days in the hospital. Also bad decision from my side, and there was a private clinic where they could do it in one day and I could go home the same day, but I was like, okay, I will go to the hospital. They know what to do. They didn't know what to do. They violated the area. I have a big scar there, and they left a piece of metal there that I had to later remove in a biological dentist clinic. And I had an abscess in the gums. So they did a very bad job, and I was very disappointed by that. What to do? Well, basically, I still have a problem to that doctor, the one that messed up my teeth. I didn't forgive her to the end. I remember I left a very mean comment on her Google reviews, but I deleted that because she was a friend of my good friend. It's good to go back to those things, then you notice that I didn't close a few things to the end. I didn't close that to the end. To lie. Or what's worse, she didn't know. Well, I'll not get anything from being mad at her anymore. That's not going to change anything. I'm just sad that this experience happened. You know, we trust doctors, right? We trust that they will do their best, and crap like this happens, and you lose everything. Maybe not everything, but I lost a lot. Definitely 1 year of efficient training, a lot of parties that I could attend and give my full energy. I was unfortunate enough to meet a bad person. Not bad overall, but bad in what she's doing. And then this stupid hospital. Huh? Okay, that's a complex experience. Basically, you don't know, right? This doctor, she was very nice. She was very cool, very friendly. The doctors in the hospitals, they were bad. Like, people who were working there in this hospital in Krakow, their attitudes, especially of those older ones, they shouldn't be doctors. So those were bad, those were good, but overall I was in a massive problem. You don't know. Let's move forward. Do I have a coffee? I don't have a coffee anymore. Let's get some electrolytes and yalla. I live in Dubai right now. There is an amazing biological dentistry there, and I got proper cleaning. It's done. I don't have any issues from that topic, but the prolonged fatigue, right? Obviously, it will have some effect on the heart. So basically, take care of your teeth. Have a very good dentist that will never lie to you, and yeah. The third thing, since then my health was pretty stable, was actually getting better, and my training got actually better. I was able to enjoy, bulk quite nicely, and everything seemed to be fine. October last year, 2024, my very close person died. It was my aunt. She was helping to raise me. Very important person in my life, and the first death of a close person, that close, which was quite big for me. It was quite big, a lot of emotions, a lot of grief, anger. It was a surprise. I just one day got a call that her heart failed, and she was tired because of the breast cancer chemo. Pretty big deal. I feel pretty alright with that right now. It's still the process, but I'm kind of it doesn't bother me, it doesn't hurt me that much now. I got on terms with it, if I could say that. 1 week after coming back from the funeral, I noticed that my ankles swell. So most likely now, if I will have time, I will edit in the video of my ankles. And that was a pretty major red flag. I already had a scheduled cardiologist appointment on January 25. Once per year, I had a full body check, a full heart checkup. And I thought that I have time until then, that nothing bad will happen in the next 3 months. I was like, I'll just wait, I will meet the doctor that knows me well, nothing bad will happen in the next 3 months. Honestly, even if I would go for the checkup in Dubai, even if they would find that the parameters went worse, I would still go to Poland. And I would not buy tickets sooner. Like, I was still fine, I was working normally, I was going to the gym, less, like the intensity dropped because I also didn't feel as good. I felt that something's cooking. So that was massive strain to the heart. I think from all of the reasons I will tell you about, this is the worst. This was the most important reason. And there was one more out of my control, and this was the pneumonia. Pneumonia caused by the mold in my apartment. So basically, yeah, I'm still angry at those guys as well. Okay, so the situation was like this. We moved with my wife to the new apartment after 6 months. I requested the maintenance team, because they have a local maintenance there, to clear the ventilation, to clear the vents. That's their job. They take off the apartment. They came out, they changed the filter, they looked inside, they told me that everything is fine. Everything is good. So basically, I believed them, because why I wouldn't? Unfortunately, after some time, I started to cough. And one time I almost passed out because I felt so bad. Then I went to the doctor, he did an x-ray, found pneumonia. 2 days later, I met a person on the gathering on my friend's birthday. He told me the story of him living with the mold. And when I heard that, I was like, wow, I have the same, like coughing, the mood swings, feeling that something is off, that you don't want to sit in the apartment. So I went home, I turned off the flashlight, I turned on the camera, and I stuck my phone to the vents. It was all in black dots. It's at least a few years of mold being there. When I asked the maintenance team why, they told me that everything's fine. They were like, oh, something. Like they just didn't care. I cleaned the apartment, everything was fine, everything was stable. And then I remember 29th of December, no training. I had a dinner with my friends, lovely, everything was fine. I think that day the building next to us was in fire. We got out of the taxi, there was a very bad smell, very heavy smell, a lot of nervous people in pajamas around. Subconsciously, I think it created some flight or fight response. And then I remember we laid it down with my wife, we were chatting, and it started. And the whole journey started. Look, that's going to be a pretty long video. I'm getting a bit tired. This is not only the consequence of the heart. I am an introvert, so I'm not used to talking that long. So thank you for listening. In the next video, I will tell you how today's episode looked like, what helped me to get out of that. So guys, thank you again, namaste, and see you soon.